Welcome back to our day three on the clock instant analysis powered by PointsBet. At this point, the Eagles give pick 188 and 237 to trade back up to pick 181 to go out and get Kyron Johnson. Now, Ray, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The more and more we talked about this whole situation with Coach Gannon and the defense he wants to run, and the players that he's picking up in this year's draft, and how they use Jannard Avery, and what I see them using, their rush ins slash linebackers here, it kind of looks like they're going into a three-man front, and Kyron Johnson is definitely fitting the bill as far as that. He's a 6 foot, 231 pound, I guess you call him rush in or edge rusher, or because that's what he played at the University of Kansas. And he had a little juice. He had 6.5 sacks last year, and he fits along with that, almost like that outside linebacker s type of player that you use in a 3-4 front.
Yeah, I agree. That's sort of what he projects to me too. He looks like, physically, he looks like a will linebacker is what he looks
Yes.
like. He's 6 feet, as you said, 230. It's even undersized for most linebackers in the
Right.
NFL now. But it's clear to me that this is just all about pass rush. That's what he does the best. He will get bowled over in the running game. He's not going to, at that size, he's not going to be taking on many tackles again in the run. But this sort of all falls in the lap of the defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, and putting players, as they all say, in the position to succeed. To use a guy like this to do what he does best, which is fire off the ball, bend around the corner, and get pressure on the quarterback, which he can do. He's a 4.7 guy who's got real good acceleration. You worked one of his games. You saw that.
Mhm.
He's got pass rush techniques. He understands how to get around the corner. He knows how to set up a tackle and beat him to the point. Where he has problems is when he engages with a bigger man. He can't get off the block, and he will usually get overpowered. But I think that the way this looks like it's going to work out to me is that Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, is going to have to figure out exactly what the best role for each one of these guys is and get them on the field and ask them to do what they can do. You're going to have to figure out how to work with the new big nose tackle, where's Hassan Reddick going to play, how you're going to get him to the quarterback. And a guy like this is just one more tool to get to the passer. And, listen, the way things are going here, Barrett, they better get pressure on the quarterback because they look a little short in the secondary. Okay.
we talked about that too.
Here we are this far into day three, and I haven't drafted a defensive back yet. I wasn't expecting that. Now, Kyron Johnson is, he's a very specific kind of player, but he's going to be used as a pure pass rusher, and I think he can help you in that role. But to your point about what does this tell us about how the Eagles are going to be deployed up front this year? Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go to an all-base 3-4 defense where that's going to be their base defense and they're going to come out and play that all the time. I don't know if they're going to commit to that, but certainly with the addition of Davis, with the addition of some of the other players, with Reddick, some of these other guys here, they look to me like a team that in terms of the personnel look like a 3-4 team. Now, how much he's going to commit to that, I don't know. But I can guarantee you that somewhere in that defensive playbook this year, there's going to be a nice fat section about 3-4.
Absolutely. It might not be their base front. They may be a 4-down team, but just look on how the NFL is looking as far as the offensive side of the ball. It's a lot of 11 personnel, one running back, one tight end, which puts you in your sub fronts, your nickel fronts, when you have 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. With the personnel that they're getting right now, it could virtually be a 3-4 type of system because you have smaller Jannard Avery type of players, Hassan Reddick, now Kyron Johnson, and I can remember when I did the game and I broke down, I talked to Coach Lance Leopold about his defense, and what they wanted to do was create pressure by bringing guys from different places, and I think that's kind of what the Eagles can do. They moved him not necessarily, at the snap of the ball, but they would run like twist with him or blitz him from different, places. He might line up, somewhere he's not supposed to be and end up there just so he could throw off, a lot of these offensive linemen. So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I see him using these smaller type of rush in type of players, right, what they're creating pressure with the guys that they're bringing into the fold.
Yeah, I mean, they've got guys now that have some very specific skills, largely built around speed over strength, and guys who have the ability to get to the quarterback. One of the other factors we haven't mentioned this yet is one of the things Nakobe Dean can do is Nakobe Dean can blitz.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's one more pass rusher added to the equation. So yeah, I mean, we saw it last year. I mean, this team absolutely had to improve its pass rush. I mean, we've been saying that for weeks leading into the draft. Find ways to improve the pass rush, and we thought it was going to be maybe in the first round of the draft by drafting one of the big, solid edge rushers, and they didn't do that. They went for the nose tackle, but they're going to try and find that pass rush somewhere else. But it looks to me, and again, this is without talking to the coaches or getting any inside
Right.
information, but it looks to me like they're building the foundation for a defense that's going to show you, a lot of nose tackle and a lot of pressure on the outside, and maybe, again, not committing fully to a 3-4, but having that as definitely part of your defensive arsenal.